We are live.
Hello, this is yet another FPS with me. It's me, Ike, and I get to play as Ollie. And then I have these two lovely beings who are.
Hello, my name is words. My name is Artist-of-Obessions, also known as Obby, and today I'm going to be playing Primrose Poodle, a
Uh,
pupper who has no idea what's about to happen. And you know what? That's fine.
and I'm Oogie's Girl 207, or Oogie's for short, and I play as Vanir, who's been living at
Yeah.
Ollie's house for quite some time now.
Yeah. And speaking of that house, I think we begin actually with Primrose. So, Prim, as far as I've been told, a couple of special ladies in your life have told you that you need to go on a mission to help someone out in the middle of the
Yep.
jungle.
Yep.
Why? We don't know.
The why? No idea. But you know what? That's just
We
what the
just
fairy
don't know.
godmothers do.
They just like shoved it at you and went, okay, get on it.
Go.
Go.
Go. Help. Assist.
And assist as you shall, as one does. So you got to go through this whole forest. You can tell that it has a bit more of like a grainy line art look to it. It's this very
Ooh.
big jungle. And of course, eventually you stumble onto none other than Artifact Manor, which is Ollie's house.
Nice.
And I should mention, it is a very sunny and nice day outside. It's quite peaceful, actually.
Yee.
Although you hear
Good.
some clamoring coming from inside the house.
Ah, clamoring. Oh boy.
Is that like a thing Primrose says?
I, probably to
Ah,
herself, yeah.
clamoring.
Ah, clamoring. The
Oh,
beginnings
what
of
are
a
you gonna do?
problem that needs solving. Which, is something she's come to expect when going on missions like this. I think, like, Primrose is gonna just go right up to the front door and knock.
Alright.
Do the
So,
polite
as you
thing.
go to walk up to the door and you begin to knock on the door, you only have to knock once, and this door actually just creeps open
Oh.
on its own. Nobody's
Oh.
there. It creaks open.
Oh. I'm tempted to roll insight on that, but knowing Primrose.
I mean, if you want to roll insight, then I mean, can't argue with
Let's
that.
do it just for fun. 13. Okay. Uh, she's a little sus, but only a little. And like, I think she's just gonna peek her head inside the room and just go like, ah, hello?
So Primrose, your voice kind of echoes a little bit as you do a little hello into the room, and you're right now you're peeking your head into pretty much what is the main foyer of the mansion. It's this big, spacious room. There are two staircases on either side. There's also two doors on either side, and it looks like the wall. There's a very green palette towards this whole room, very like
Yee,
green and gray. And there's
yee,
also a set of different tables on each side of the room as well, with all different little artifacts and things. There's also maps
yee.
framed up on the walls. You're welcome to take a look around.
I think I think Primrose just like lets out a low whistle, like this place is fancy,
It
and like
is.
she just very curiously, because she's a pupper. She's a pupper. Oh, she's so curious. What's around this place? She's gonna find out
I
soon.
did, okay. I didn't ask it, but where is Vanir?
So in the meanwhile, Ollie and Vanir, you're both actually in the library, which Primrose doesn't know where that is yet. But as of right now,
Okay.
To actually tie things in a little bit more, Prim, as you are leaning in to look at some of the artifacts on some of these tables, you do in fact hear some more racket coming from one of the back rooms of the area.
Does she? Like, you gotta
I mean,
understand, her passive perception is 8.
you can roll if you want to see, but
I'm
I can
going to
I can
roll.
definitely give it to you.
I'm gonna roll just for fun.
Prim, you are too busy looking at like one of the many artifacts that are on these tables because there is jewelry on one of
Oh,
them. There's
Oh,
like a really
shiny
fancy
things.
necklace, and there's also a really pretty pin just sitting in front of it, and this pin really speaks out to you.
oh
Oh
no.
gosh. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh man, but like this is not her stuff. Like even as she's like
Hmm.
apparently breaking and entering.
I mean, the
Apparently.
door did open for you.
It did, but like she might as well be breaking and entering.
Oh my god.
Like these are not her things. She's here to find somebody and help. Uh, I think but then again, shiny thing.
Oh my god.
I mean, you can roll into it and see what the shiny things
Roll
are.
into it. I think she might. My no brain cell puppy.
Or
I
you
think
can
she might.
head on over to the other.
What?
Or you can head on over to find out what all that racket is all about.
I'm gonna roll a d2. 1, she checks out the pin. 2, she goes and sees the racket. Oh no,
Oh
Prim.
my god.
Prim.
So, Primrose, you are too busy looking at this jewelry because you have never seen anything much like this before. At least not in a long time. And not as like a legitimate thing. You know, like some places like they have like the prop versions of necklaces and what's it out there. Because,
Yeah.
movie background,
Mhm.
it's to be expected. But this feels like the real deal. There is a
Oh.
there is a pin that particularly speaks out to you. And this pin looks like a little rose that has a pearl in the middle of it and 3 leaves on each side of it.
Hmm. Gee, I wonder where we've seen that before. Looks at the title card. Oh, I think she's just gonna like pick it up and like look at it. Cause ooh, fancy. Fancy.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna have to make you do a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Prim, no! No! Not a wisdom saving throw! 5!
Prim,
Wow,
without hesitation, you
it hasn't
suddenly
even been
feel
5
compelled.
minutes. It hasn't even been 5 minutes.
Prim, you just walked into this random person's house and then noticed a really pretty pin, and you cannot get the urge to just not pick it up and look at it. And the
Correction.
closer you look at it, the more that you feel compelled to put it on.
So,
Oh my god.
so correction. It's not been 10 minutes. It's about 8 minutes in.
Amazing. Hasn't even been 10 minutes.
Speedrunner world record. World record.
Speedrunner world record. How fast
Speedrunner
can you make a dumb
Prim.
decision?
So yeah, with that, Prim, you put on the pin. Nothing happens, but hey, you're wearing a really pretty pin now.
Nice, I guess. Cool. And with
And of
that,
course,
I
just
think.
as you think everything is all well and good, there
Oh,
is also another bang thud coming from the room nearby.
okay. This time she does notice, and like one of her ears pricks up a little as she turns her head towards the sound, and I think she's gonna start heading towards it.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Vanir, you have probably been at this for maybe an hour now with Ollie. Ollie explained to you a couple days ago that there's been some weird stuff going on in his home. possibly a little bit weirder than normal. While he is familiar with possible spirits of actually living in his home, he didn't realize how hostile that they could get as well. So for the past hour, you have been trying to battle a ghost, you presume, that has been throwing books in who knows what inside this library at you and Ollie.
Ollie, should we back off and probably rethink this plan a bit?
Ollie just he gives a shrug. He isn't sure.
And he just looks at him like...
He's holding up a small book as if it's a shield, as if that would protect him in any shape or form.
Vanir just kind of like looks at him like, really? You didn't think of a plan? Type of expression on her...
shrug. It's frantic. And this would be a good time for a certain pupper to finally make their way into the room.
I think she does. Like, as they're talking, there's just the door kind of peeks open.
Can I just say Vanir notices it? Because she does have a passive perception of 13.
Okay, that's a lot better than 8.
Ollie's a little busy with the situation at hand, so...
Vanir just takes a double take on looking at the door with his pup peeking her head in and goes, "Who are you?"
Oh, hi!
I think with that, Ollie looks over
Rose
too.
opens the door.
What was that?
Primrose opens the door and is saying hello.
Oh my god.
Hi! Whoa. Like, is there anything, like, happening in the room that should... that
Oh
Prim
yes,
would
that
notice?
is definitely... Prim, I think you're gonna want to do a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, boy. 10!
So Prim, just as you ask what is going on, there is a book that flies past you, and it barely manages to not hit you.
I think she, like, ducks, like, oh, okay, oh, alright. Okay, floating books. Noted.
We can talk later. Right now we have a little bit of a problem, apparently, with some ghosts. That's what Ollie says.
Ollie
Ghosts?
nods. He cannot talk.
Ah. Okay. Ghosts. Alright. I think, like, I'm gonna roll hammer space real fast.
Alright.
Okay, so Primrose does, like, reach into her fanny pack and pull out a little wand as, she's, like, looking around the room. And, like, she's like, trying to explain herself, like, why she's here, like, going through the whole spiel of, okay, so, this is gonna sound really weird, but I was sent by fairy godmothers to help out and stuff. Is this your house? It's very lovely, by the way.
It's Ollie's.
Oh! And, like, she looks at
Ollie
Ollie
nods.
and waves.
And during all this, he is also still holding up a book as a shield. Also, Vanir, in this moment, can you also do a dexterity saving throw?
Yeah. Let's... So, saving throw. So, it's a... D20 plus... I think I'm gonna have...
Yeah! Nice!
Vanir, you see a book flying right at you, and you manage to catch it with your hand.
It's like she's looking at... No, I can imagine just she's looking at Prim. Books goes flying at her face, and she lifts up one hand and just grabs it.
Nice. Nice.
And the thing is, her hands are big too, so it's just like... Boom.
Big scarf hand. Yes. Good. Just sounds like a pillow.
Yep, basically.
Like
Oh
get
my
impacted with
goodness.
a pillow.
Just a loud floof.
Okay. So ghost stuff. So what has the ghost been doing? Has it been like, like Primrose watches as another book goes sailing through the air?
I
Has it just been
Ollie
throwing
just
books around and stuff?
Ollie just madly gestures at the room. The room is kind of a mess right now. There has been many books that are on the ground, all
so
out of order. There has been some stuff up above the bookshelves that has also been taken down. There is still a broken globe from the last time he had this issue.
Oh boy. There's just a lot of broken things, huh?
Yep.
Hmm. I hmm. I feel like Prim needs to roll something, but I don't know what she'd have to roll. to like
Hmm.
to like think of what to do because I'm at a loss of what to
Maybe
do.
because it comes along with it a fair bit, maybe you should do a wisdom roll.
Oh boy, wisdom. Because Prim's great at those. 5.
5. Yeah, you don't seem to think much, but you do get a strange feeling coming from that little pin that you're wearing.
Oh, that's fun.
hold on. Can I do like an insight or like investigation roll to see if Vanir notices the bloody pin?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I would feel like Vanir would notice the pin that was in the main room that she's allowed in. Innocent to things.
Oh, yeah, yeah. She likely would have seen it.
Yeah. I'm doing an investigation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
8.
Oh my
8.
god.
Yeah, Vanir, you notice the pin, but you don't really know what's up about it, though. You're just like, that's a pretty pin.
My goodness. We've only rolled
Why does it
one
look
number that's
familiar?
15 and above.
That's...
Dice Parser is bullying us.
Ollie, I wonder if Ollie should do the same thing. I don't even have this sheet up right now, but I am just going to roll and see if he does notice. Oh, he does.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, it is his stuff.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
He does recognize that this is a pin that came from one of his other rooms. And
Oh
he
boy.
perks up and just kind of gives you like an excited point. He can't talk, so instead it's just,
Oh, Vanir, the translator, is in the room.
yep. And like, oh, that. He's wagging a finger.
Like
Vanir
Prim
goes,
is
the pin?
like looking down at the pin, like, oh, and she starts sorting bullets because when did she put that on?
Oh, it was like she blanked out and it just appeared on her.
I'm sorry, is this yours? Prim kind of says awkwardly.
Ollie nods, but also it kind of looks like he's kind of chuckling almost. You just can't hear it.
I mean, do you want it back or like Prim moves to try to take it off?
He
Ollie!
waves his hand and shakes his head like, no, no, no.
Oh, Ollie, may I ask a question? Is that thing cursed?
He holds up a finger to be like, and then he nods.
How bad? How bad? Vanir goes up to
Rose
him and just goes, how bad?
Staring.
So a book comes and flies past him, but he manages to dodge it quite skillfully before replying at all.
Okay.
And Ollie, he thinks for a minute and taps his foot and then gives a gentle shrug.
You don't know?
He just shrugs.
Vanir looks back at Burns and goes, okay, so just a heads up. I would not just suggest picking up willy-nilly items around this place.
Noted.
Yeah.
You mean cursed?
Yeah, no, a lot of things in this house is cursed. There was one time we got stuck in an Uno game because the Uno cards were cursed.
Ollie nods. He can attest to that.
Primrose has like an expression that just screams, "This is the weirdest circumstance I have ever been in." But you know what? She's not gonna think about it. She's not gonna think about it. She's gonna shrug it all off and focus on the problem at hand, which is Ghost. She can worry about the cursed stuff later. This is fine. Everything's
Ollie's
fine.
now. So Ollie now is just like tapping his hand really like frantically against his leg. He's trying to figure out what he can do, and then notices that there is a table in the room. It's like a little writing table. There is his notebook and a pen, and he goes to rush over to go pick it up.
Uh,
Unfortunately, though, because
Uh-oh.
I just rolled an 8,
Oh
he
no.
does not do that.
Oh
As
no.
he is running over, there is a book, and it manages to smack him right in the back, and
Oof.
he stumbles a bit.
Ollie!
Hold on, I gotta look over. Oh shoot! I forgot to open Prim's spell list. Give me a second. Ah! Because I know Prim has spells. Prim, what are your spells? It's been a while since I've looked at your spells. What do you have? Huh.
Give us
Okay.
the spell.
She does have Mage Hand. So I'm thinking like she's gonna like head over and try to help Ollie up while I like trying to use Mage Hand to like catch some of the books that are running rampant through the air.
Oh, totally. Go on right ahead.
Should I roll something to see if the Mage Hand is successful at all?
Yeah, I would say roll for it.
Would it be like Dexterity or Arcana? Because considering it's a spell.
I feel like Arcana, given it is magic that you're doing
I'll
it.
do Arcana then.
Because I mean, if it
12.
doesn't work, then it just like goes through the friggin' hand, I guess.
Yeah. I did get the 12.
Ghost hand.
Ghost hand. And it
Ghost
does look
hand.
like a little pink paw, the Mage Hand.
Oh. Oh. I think Ollie very much appreciates the help any which way.
Yeah. I think Primrose helps
Good sport.
Ollie up and is just like looking around. So, how long have you guys been like dealing with the ghosts?
From what Ollie told me before I got here, which has been a few weeks now.
That's a long time. And I think like Primrose is gonna look towards like the notebook that Ollie was looking at earlier, and she's gonna use Mage Hand to grab that and bring it to Ollie.
All right, go right ahead.
Yee. Like it's Mage Hand, so it just floats on over,
do it.
grabs, comes back.
Ollie nods and really much appreciates.
Yee.
And inside that, he finally begins writing.
Finally,
Why,
he
I
can
don't-
communicate.
So he begins to write down, and then he shows you the booklet to you. And in cursive, it reads, "My goodness, this is a lot, isn't it?"
Yeah, Primrose nods.
Can we step out of the room for a moment, please? So we can actually get ourselves organized?
He quickly flips to another paper that says yes.
Okay.
I think with that, like, Primrose is gonna take both of their hands and, like, start rushing out the room, not even waiting for an answer.
You want to do a dexterity saving throw really quick?
Dex save. Okay. Boop. 11.
So Prim, you take hold of both of their hands and you begin running. You're ready to beeline it out of this room. And of course, you trip and you fall.
Ouch.
Can Vanir pick Can Vanir try picking up Prim and taking her?
Yeah, go ahead.
What roll do I do?
Oh, I guess strength?
Strength roll? Oh my god. Okay.
Because you're trying to pick up another person.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
Just one hand, just one hand, just one hand picks up.
Well, okay, and like Primrose is very surprised because usually she's the one doing the picking up.
Funny thing
And
about
with that, you guys are
Vanir,
able
she's
to
a
run out
monk.
of the room.
Funny thing with Vanir, she's a monk druid.
Ooh, that's cool.
And with that, all three of you end up running out of the room. And Ollie goes to slam the door behind him.
Vanir
Oh,
kind of
man.
just uprights Prim and just sets her on the ground on her feet.
I think like Primrose does like a very cartoonish wobbling before she shakes her head and dusts herself off a bit. Thank you. Okay. Ghosts.
Ollie nods.
Okay. So how long exactly have the ghosts been around, do you know? And like she looks like at Ollie expectantly.
He thinks for a moment and then he begins writing. While there has been ghosts in this house, I've never encountered one like this one before. It's only been maybe about a month or so since this one started showing any sign of activity.
Primrose nods. Okay. So I know ghosts only like start doing stuff when they're like bothered or whatever. So did something happen that made the ghost upset? Or like
Ollie
she just kind of
shrugs.
shrugs. Ah.
Ollie shrugs in reply.
Hmm.
He writes down, I don't know what would have angered them. I don't typically bother them if I can help it. Unless maybe it's one of the items I brought in, or I don't know.
Was there anything recent in the sense of item-wise before the ghost acted up?
He shrugs.
Well,
And shakes his head.
you said that they started acting up a month ago. So did you bring anything in a month ago that would have possibly been ghost stuff?
Ollie thinks for a bit there, and he begins to write down. There has been a few items, but I have stored those away up into the attic. I have, however, moved some things around recently, or at least since a month ago.
Okay. So we have two options. We can like go to the attic and see if any of the new things are the things that's making the ghost upset, or we can check out to see the stuff that's been moved around.
Ollie thinks for a bit and then begins to kind of like wave you two to follow along and begins to show the items that are actually in the foyer.
Yee.
Vanir just kind of follows in her normal
He writes down, so there has been a couple of items that I have gotten over the time. There has been also a few that I have recently put down here for showcase, since I did think that they would be appropriate to put down here.
Primrose just nods.
So he begins gesturing at the four main tables of the room. One of them, it has, it looks like stone that looks like it's carved to be like a monkey, and there are gems for the eyes.
Oh. I, the player, know what that does because I listen to FPSs. Oh
no! There is also a different item. It looks like a very basic statue, no gems of any sort, on another table. On another one, there is also some jewelry on a really fancy like thing that you'd put necklaces and such onto.
With one
and then there's another one that has a music box.
Lack of a pin.
Oh yes. There's like a tiny dust mark where the item is no longer there.
Oh, I think. Okay, I'm gonna roll hammer space again. All right, Prim pulls out a giant magnifying glass from her little fanny pack.
Vanir kind of jumps a little bit seeing that.
I think Ollie also jumped back a little bit.
It is time for investigating. You've activated the detective pupper.
Ollie writes down, so what are you going to do?
Well, I'm gonna see if I can find out anything from like looking around, seeing if there's like any clues, and like she wiggles her eyebrows a little bit.
Vanir
She's
just
very
chimes
excited.
in. So I just suggest you don't touch anything.
Right, no touching.
Oh,
Got
you're
it. And
not.
she
Definitely.
does a little salute.
So I guess you could take a look around these tables, see if there's anything that seems
Mhm.
it would be relevant towards this thing, perhaps.
Yep. I'm gonna roll investigation, and because this is a looking glass, she does have advantage on investigation, which is really nice. Yeah. +1. Ooh, that's already pretty good.
Ooh. So which of
It's
these
the
tables
same
are you
roll.
gonna be Yep, that
I
is
think
the same roll.
I think considering she already kind of inspected the jewelry, I think she's first gonna go with the statue, not the monkey statue, because I'm terrified of that. The other statue.
Oh my goodness. So you approach this other statue. It looks like a bird. It like a tropical bird.
Orb.
It doesn't seem like there's anything too out of the ordinary about it, aside from just being a stone statue. It does look fairly old, though.
Very old. That's probably gonna be a common theme with a lot of these, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Well,
boy.
He's
I think
willing to go to distance.
as Prim's doing that, Vanir goes up to Ollie. Is like, so you don't know what that thing does?
Ollie writes down, I've been thoroughly trying to figure out what a lot of these things do still.
Uh,
That's kind of my job.
Oh boy.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh.
He begins to write down a little bit quickly. Although I can definitely guarantee, at the very least, items down here should not be as lethal as possibly items in other rooms that I purposely put upstairs. I would
Is
not want any guests again to
is that why you
FaceTime me.
told me to only be able to stay in the certain locations you assigned me in?
He writes down, for now, yes.
For
You may be able
now.
to help me clean up the attic later, though.
Okay. Good to know.
But yeah, as far as you can tell, this statue, it doesn't seem to really do much. It does have a strange aura towards it, but aside from that, it's not too out of the ordinary, so to speak.
Okay.
At least not regarding our ghost situation.
I think like as she's expecting, she does ask Ollie like if there's any like cool tidbits for the stuff that she's poking around and
So
investigating.
you're wondering about like what about the statue specifically, or just in general?
Just in general, just like, so where'd you get this thing, or like, what do you know if any of these things do things, or
Ollie writes down, well, the monkey statue I have had some personal experience over. It is not advised to be held up against a window, for example, but otherwise it should be relatively harmless.
okay, Primrose nods.
And that statue you're looking at right now, I'm not entirely sure what it does, though I have been told that it has something to do with a place called Teepee's Outlook.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Ike.
That is what it's called. That is indeed what it's called.
That's amazing, Ike. I love you. I get the reference immediately. Wonderful. Okay. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Man. Oh, I just realized something Prim can do. Primrose has invocation, which allows her to cast detect magic. I think she's
Yeah.
gonna do that.
All right. Go right ahead. Are you gonna do it to like a specific item or just in the room?
Well, hold on. Let me look at detect magic and like read the
Oh
details.
yeah.
Okay. Detect magic. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
So
So,
it can
like, if
kind of
any.
cover any item.
Hmm?
So in this case, it could probably just cover the entire room.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and considering most of these things are cursed objects, it's probably blinds her for a second.
It definitely does. I will say though that there is a particularly one table that does stand out when you use this though. And funny
Immediately,
enough, it so happens to be the table that you found that pen from.
immediately pulling up the magnifying glass once again. Just like she just slowly raises it up.
Like you use the spell and you realize, oh, it's that table. Whoop.
Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna roll investigation again. See what
Alright.
she can find out. That's an 11,
Apparently not much.
and that's a 5. Oh, not much.
Not much.
Uh,
So you take a look at this jewelry set. It looks like it's a necklace that has a lot of nice jewels on it. There is a missing pin. And of course, there is a bracelet as well that looks pretty matching towards the necklace. And Ollie takes notice that you're looking at it and begins to write down, oh, yes, I never really did get to talk about this, not even with you, Vanir, but this actually belonged to my wife.
Your wife?
I think like Primrose perks up a little at that. Like you could see one of her ears lifting up in a very dog-like fashion.
You just nod. Yeah.
I guess you could say she's all ears.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna have Vanir kind of walk up to the table as well and take a look. I'm doing an investigation roll just for the whim of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
16.
Well, you see a little better than Primrose did.
Hold up. Primrose hands you the
Vanir,
magnifying glass,
you've
seeing.
heard some things about this jewelry, but you're not entirely sure. Like, you didn't know that it belonged to his wife, of all things, but you knew that it had some sort of magical property about them.
Is there like a specific school of magic on them? Because Prim would be able to tell because of detect magic.
Not a specific one that I have planned up. I didn't think that far
That's
in.
valid. That's valid.
At least
Plus,
not for the scene, anyway.
it's more in character for Prim to be like, "Ooh, it's magic," and that's it. No thinking, no thoughts.
Ollie also begins to take notice about the lack of pin and then looks at you, Primrose, and then back at the spot again, and then writes down, ah, so you may have found this one already. That's me.
Primrose kind of
That's right.
flushes.
It's no wonder that looks so familiar. That's fine.
Do you know what kind of magic? You said there's magic attached to this stuff, right?
He nods.
You know what type of, like, what it is enchanted with or cursed with?
He thinks for a moment and writes down, the necklace and the bracelet, I'm afraid I am not sure, but the pin, so I got it as a gift once. Supposedly it's really nice for those that are dog lovers in particular. No idea why they would say that though. It doesn't have anything to do with dogs.
Vanir just looks at Prim.
Prim just looks back at Vanir and shrugs. Just no clue what's going on. Okay.
Ollie thinks for a bit. and then writes down, should we try going back in there to see if there's anything we can do to get that ghost to stop?
Well, have you guys tried talking to the ghost?
He shakes his head no.
Well, that's your problem! Communication! And, Prim...
To give you some... Okay, to be fair, we're not much talkers ourselves in this sense of thing. The only reason why I'm chatty as a chatterbox at the current moment is I've been spending an hour trying to deal with flying books at my face, and I'm kind of annoyed currently.
Ollie
Fair enough. I think she's gonna once again take both her hands and start running back towards the library.
Alright.
She's very excited.
So I can't help but imagine this because of the fact of how big Vanir's hands are, but Ollie's just grabbing one of Vanir's fingers in the sense of things because
Fingy grab.
Yeah, because her hands are big to actually cover up her head in the sense of things.
Oh,
and
that's big.
Yeah, and Vanir is only 4 foot.
Big. Little yeah. But big.
Yeah, she has big hands in the sense of things.
Yes, good.
So I have a question for you, Avi. When Primrose enters the room again with Ollie and Vanir, how fast would you say Primrose is going in?
Pretty fast.
Uh-oh.
She does have zoink shoes. She probably used them.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so as the three of you all entered into this room again, which is, mind you, is still incredibly chaotic. There was the moment you slam open the door, these books are still going and are now directing towards you immediately. And before you really have a chance to do anything, Primrose, you get a really weird feeling from that pin that you put on.
Oh no.
And next thing you know, you turn into a real kind dog.
Oh my!
Vanir just kind of stops, looks at Prim, and looks at Ollie.
Ollie is just as shocked as you. So Prim, who is actual dog now, what are you gonna do?
Standing there on the ground, just what?
I feel like she's just a dog that is just happily panting and is just staring into the void as one does.
I think she's a little more freaked out than panting. I think she's just standing there what? What just happened?
Mind you, these books are still going at you at the same time, so there is a lot going on.
Oh, there's gonna be no dodging these books. Prim's too shocked.
Can Vanir do something to help, protect Prim in the sense of, her shock state?
I think there could be. Let's see. When you need a dog to calm down, sometimes you just need a bit of pressure on them. You know how some dogs they need a little jacket or something
Vanir just puts a hand
to stop the anxiety.
Vanir just puts her hand on top of Prim.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe. Pet the dog. Pet the dog.
Well, how big is Prim in this poodle form?
Oh my gosh, is she a big poodle or a mini poodle? Please, this is an important question.
I think a big poodle, because I always picture her as a bigger poodle than a little one.
Okay, so Vanir kind of has her hand on Prim's back in the sense of things. So her hands, due to how big it is, I can imagine it almost acting almost like a blanket.
Can Prim talk, or is it just barks?
It's just barks. You can't talk in this form. Are you going to try to talk? Because, I mean, you can try.
I mean, she certainly does. It's just.
Oh my goodness. I think
Oh, hold
Ollie looks just so surprised. And is also practically looking around to see what he could do about this situation.
Actually, I can do something.
What you gonna do?
Gosh.
Speak with animals.
Oh my gosh.
Alright.
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is happening? That's
Do I just
basically what
automatically
Prim is
use that,
saying.
or do I need to roll?
It's just something that happens. Like.
I think it just happens, yeah.
Okay, Vanir's gonna instantly do speak with animals.
And you basically get Prim's. What is happening? What? What? And like she's looking down at her little paws.
Did Prim actually introduce herself, or I
I
forget?
don't think she ever. I can't remember if she did.
Oh
actually
my
say her name
God.
or not.
She
No.
didn't. She was too head
She did not.
empty,
Okay.
Oh my-
no thoughts.
Miss, I know you're in shock right now. I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna like pick you up and take you out of the room for a second, because these books flying at us is not helping the situation we're having at hand
You
currently.
say that, but then, just as you were saying that, Ollie is like, he is fascinated by this and is also trying to avoid books and doesn't realize particularly where he is standing. There is a box on top of one of the shelves, and it is slowly teetering its way down.
Oh gosh.
And Ollie
Oh
goes to write
gosh.
down on the paper,
Vanir is
amazing. No
instantly
wonder he said this is for dog lovers.
What was that? Repeat that.
Ollie is too fascinated and too distracted right now, and written down in his book and went to show, oh, no wonder they said that would be good for dogs.
Oh
Or dog
gosh.
lovers.
Oh my gosh.
But meanwhile, there is a box that is about to
Vanir
fall onto him
does
unless you get him out of the way.
Yeah, so I'm guessing Vanir sees this, and instantly she will try running over and pulling Ollie out of the way. And towards
Want to do a
Prim.
dexterity roll for that?
Sure.
And of course, Avi, you also have a chance to do this if you
Yeah.
so desire.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah,
What
you
kind
might
of
want
dex
to do
roll?
it.
What kind of dex roll?
I guess sleight of hand. Wait, no, acrobatics. I'm gonna say acrobatics.
Oh,
'cause you
if
have
it's
to run over.
acrobatics, let me
Great.
redo that.
Great. Acrobatics.
Can I redo
Great.
that? Because that was just. I want to redo that because that was just regular dex.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. But oh man, Prince just got a nat 20.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the both of you, like, I feel like at first, like, this is how I'm depicting it in my head. It could be totally different. But I like to imagine that Primrose first notices, barks loudly, and rushes over, which causes Vanir to also rush over, and you both manage to get Ollie out of the way. Basically,
Yeah.
scoop him up and run out of the room again. But
Oh.
also at the same time, you must have scared something because now the books aren't as frequent.
Huh. What do you wait, what? What do you mean?
Should I just give it? I feel like I should give it because we are nearing the end.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So, by Prim barking incredibly loud, supposedly this ghost must have got spooked themselves and stopped going as crazy as they have been with the books.
Oh my gosh. The answer is just to scare the ghost. Oh no. Alright, Prim, with this knowledge, gets a little determined look on her doggy face and starts going back into the room and barking wildly.
Vanir opens the door just to see what's going on.
So Prim, you do that, and suddenly about I'm gonna say about 10 books actually stop flying in the air and fall to a halt. They all fall to the ground. And it's like as if everything decided to just up and leave the room.
Oh. As soon as Primrose is as soon as she's sure that all no more books are flying, she pads around and turns to look at the others, and she just puffs out her little chest, her little doggy chest, and her tail's wagging a mile a minute.
Oh my goodness.
Vanir goes up to Prim and goes, well, that's certainly a way to deal with the ghosts. Though
Ollie nods.
that brings up
cautiously.
we solved one problem. Now we have another. She points at Prim.
Yeah, no kidding.
And just as you say that, actually, Prim poops back into her normal self.
Oh, and, she just kind of poofs back, and she's on all fours still. And she just kind of blushes before she immediately stands back up.
As Prim poofs back, Vanir does give a little jump in sense of things before kind of just looking at Prim and then Ollie, and then gesturing what the?
Well, I think Primrose is very awkwardly starting to take off the pin because she does not want a repeat of that experience just yet.
Abby, do you want to roll something for me really quick, though?
Oh boy.
Could you do, I'm gonna say, do a sleight of hand. Roll a sleight of hand to get this pin off.
Okay. 18.
So, you take a rough time trying to get this pin off, but you manage.
Yep, and she very awkwardly just offers it back to Ollie. Here.
Ollie looks at it for a moment and then decides to gently hand it back to you and writes down in his book, I feel like you're gonna get some good use out of this.
Primrose is just staring directly down at this little pin. And she's not gonna reject it because that would be rude, but also she's looking at this pin and go oh no. If she turns into a puppy around Tobias or Marcel or anyone else at Dodo Studios, they are never gonna let her live it down. Never. She'll have to live with that for the rest of her life.
Most likely.
So
Ollie writes down for a moment. Well, that has been something. Now, should we try things again a little bit more proper?
Yeah.
Start from the top.
Yeah.
Oh right! I never told you guys my name. Hi, I'm Primrose, and she goes to shake your guys' hand.
Ollie chuckles silently and actually gives the handshake back with just about as much enthusiasm.
Vanir does this offers a hand for a handshake, but she also grabs her hat in case the shake gets a little bit too much.
Yeah. Man.
Nice.
Ollie then writes down in his book, well, do you like coffee or tea? Anything at all?
Tea. Rose immediately perks up at that, and her tail's wagging again.
And I think he ushers the two of you over to the parlor, which is on like the left-hand side of the building.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I think that about wraps up the FBI.
As they're walking, Vanir does give a proper introduction to herself as well, in the sense of things. Going,
Yes, good.
hello, Vanir.
Vanir! Nice to meet you. And like Prim shakes her hand again.
I've been staying with Ollie for about a few weeks now, in the sense of things.
Nice.
And I believe with that wraps it up.
And let me stop recording.
So thank you for playing.
Thank
Yay!
you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
listening.
This is a lot of fun.